My name is Lela Dinakaran. I am the Vice President of Marketing. We are a franchisee group, so we have 44 restaurants that we have signed up with PeopleLinx.
Amazing. And how do you feel that Bojangles kind of stands out in the restaurant industry?
Yeah, we're predominantly in the South, but slowly but surely spreading our territory range throughout other parts of the United States. So we're definitely at a really sweet spot in terms of growing brand awareness. But yeah, catering is a big key focus for us this year and especially going into 2025. So just being on the franchisee side, being able to find a partner to grow our catering business has definitely been monumental for us.
Great. Yeah, it's a fun place to be
Yeah.
in that growing stage. Great. Yeah. Can you share a little bit about your journey going into marketing in the restaurant sector? You know, what kind of pushed you to pursue this career?
Yeah, so I studied marketing in college, and throughout just kind of my young adult years, I've always taken on odd jobs in restaurants. So during that time, I really developed a love for hospitality and creating positive experiences for others. So when catering at Bojangles fell into my lap, it kind of felt like a really good place for me to be. And I knew with my interests and my past experience, I really could grow this thing. So I would say that was my start. I've been with the brand for 5 years now, and like I said, Kate, I kind of uncovered the hidden gem that is catering. For us, it's very low hanging fruit. A catering order, average check order can be anywhere from $250 to $500 versus a customer coming into the store typically spends about $10 to $12. So to be able to swoop in a check of that size all in one go is big.
Yeah, definitely a low-hanging fruit. Amazing.
Yeah.
How do you see the restaurant industry evolving over the next few years, particularly in terms of marketing and catering?
Yeah, so catering is, I don't know the figure off the top of my head, but definitely a multi-million-dollar industry and growing. We have seen a big push in food for work. So a lot of B2B transactions were happening. And especially in the current scope of the world with people going back into office. And you're seeing a lot less remote work. So the incentive for these companies to get their people to come back into the office is, hey, I'll give you free lunch. Or it's just been like an added perk for these guys. So enter all of these restaurants trying to capitalize and market their catering to all of these different organizations. So when I was uncovering catering, I knew that warehouses and doctors' offices and churches and nonprofits and schools and all of these businesses needed catering. But the biggest question mark was, how do I get myself in front of the person ordering catering in order to secure an order? So at first I thought it was just going to be a super slow burn, right? I thought I would go drop off sweets and hopefully it would get to the right person. I thought I would just go drop into the schools and hopefully they would be interested enough in me to order. But then I found PeopleLinx. Kelly Grogan reached out to me. And it was a big solution to a really big question mark, which was the who part of all of it. So PeopleLinx definitely got us behind the front desk, as we like to say. It got us in front of the people who want to listen to different catering options.
I love it. It's crazy how you mentioned that coming back into the office, it's a huge incentive for employers to be ordering for their employees. And it's just such a change from not coming into the office, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure like that affected you guys a lot, to you being a perk.
Yeah.
business changing on your side. So that's great.
Yeah, and those transactions are always really fun because typically what we've seen is they are not price sensitive. And as you know, we are currently in a recession. We have a lot of value driven consumers, meaning that if we want to see our guest counts start to increase, we need to have really good value behind our messaging. And maybe not, and not only that, but also putting out a really positive experience. So the way that catering is a little bit different from that is I can I can control the experience of one order versus thousands of customers coming into my restaurant. I can ensure that that one order that's feeding 20, 50 people has all of the things that it needs, the, hot, fresh food, all of the condiments, the napkins, the plates, the drink, the ice for the drinks, all the way down to the tongs and the sauces and the condiments. And I especially like that, we can control those things. And like I said, they're not price sensitive. In fact, typically the people that are ordering are spending the boss's money, right? And you're not thinking, okay, how can I get the biggest bang for my buck? What you want out of that experience is reliability. And that's really where we've won, is being a reliable caterer.
That's great. Yeah. The ability to have any level of control
Yeah.
in your experience is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, at the restaurant level, there are just a lot of different factors that can affect your day-to-day work, right? For instance, what if somebody just doesn't show up and you're running a short shift that day? What if the power goes out? What if your truck doesn't show up? With catering, everything is planned in advance. Someone might place a $500 order with me, but it's next week. I can make sure I staff extra people that day. I can make sure that I have the product on hand. So yeah, definitely the control aspect makes catering more favorable, but also more profitable too.
I love it. I love it. Great. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. What would you say is the most valuable lesson that you've learned in your career overall?
We could probably have an hour-long conversation about this. Let's see, the most valuable lesson, probably to definitely, like, in the realm of just confidence and not like doubting myself, knowing that I know more than I give myself credit for. I had a colleague give me some really good advice, and it was, you have to think that you're better than what they think about you. So if they think you're only this good, you have to think that you're this good.
Yeah, it's all good. All about the mindset.
Yeah, definitely all about the mindset.
Perfect. Okay. Can you think of the maybe worst advice you've ever received and how maybe it pivoted your current mindset?
Oh, worst work advice I've ever received. Maybe not like the worst advice per se, but definitely those people that make you feel like you shouldn't ask questions, or make you feel like there are such thing as bad questions, because there's truly not. I think the stupider the question, the better, because it shows how much you care. So I would say the worst kind of environment or advice I've ever been giving is just having maybe surrounding myself with people that wanted me to quiet my voice.
Absolutely. What else? What's best practices do you recommend, or routines for staying organized and productive? Because marketing is fast-paced, and the restaurant industry is even more fast-paced. So I'm sure organization is huge in your world.
Yeah, I think it just boils down to just having really good self-discipline. I'm in a very hybrid role where I control my day-to-day completely. I might have a day where I can work completely from my home office. I might have a day where I'm on the road. but it's solely up to me. So I think just being disciplined enough to say, okay, today I'm going to get XYZ done and it will be completed by the end of the day. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the road from these times and hours. I'm going to make sure that my work is done or completed. So definitely like that. What did I just say? The discipline to stick to a routine, just especially with hybrid work, but also just staying organized and staying on top of it. It's easy to let things slip through the cracks, and we're all human, right? We make mistakes, but just doing your best to stay on top of things and, making sure your tasks are getting completed.
Yeah, absolutely. A list of any kind is still a list.
Yeah.
Do you have any books or podcasts or networks that you would suggest or recommend to maybe like a newcomer in the field?
Yeah, so especially in this landscape of catering, a couple that I have read and then used to coach my team are 100 Million Leads, and it kind of talks about lead generation. And I think it was very crucial that we, as a team, we sat down, read it, and talked about how it pertained to Bojangles and selling catering, and especially with PeopleLinx. And then the other book I read, I actually have right by my desk because it's that important, which also pertains to catering and with PeopleLinx, is Daniel H. Pink, To Sell Is Human. I think it really just breaks down the psychology behind it. And I think oftentimes in a sales job, you can come across as robotic and unauthentic. And PeopleLinx does a great job of making sure that the messaging behind all of our emails sounds authentic and sounds like it's coming from me, because at the end of the day, no one wants to be solicited to. It's all about building relationships. And I would say that's a big thing that I uncovered through growing our catering business, that it wasn't so much the messaging or spreading awareness or maybe like putting or buying ad space to talk about catering. It was very much boots on the ground and putting my face in front of these potential clients, but not just to sell them catering, more of a, hey, you're a community stakeholder, I'm a business owner here. How can we build a relationship together so we're both winning? Because I'm trying to sell more catering and maybe you're a nonprofit and you need support in these areas. How can we work together to do that? And then from that, I've seen Bojangles community awareness and community focus just grow. And because of that, karma, right? Good things go around. So when people in the community start seeing Bojangles in these different aspects and in these different industries, the next time they're hungry, the hope is at least, hey, let me go get a Bojangles biscuit.
Yeah, just a snowball effect.
Yeah, it's definitely a snowball effect. And PeopleLinx has kind of helped us speed up that snowball effect. So right now it's been fantastic. We've been with PeopleLinx for 6 months now. And our client portfolio has just grown so much faster because we have this tool. And my team isn't spending so much time and money and energy, like I said, trying to get in front of these the correct people. Instead, they're booking these meetings and they're taking food over and they're building relationships. I think that's the buzzword in all of this. We are building relationships faster and more efficiently. And because we're doing both of those things, we're seeing a bigger return and a bigger outcome.
The ideal scenario.
Yeah, the ideal scenario. That's what you want.
Great. What do you find the most rewarding out of your role and the impact you're making with Bojangles and the community?
The most rewarding thing, oh man, there's so many. From a customer standpoint, it really makes my day when I just send a quick follow-up text or email and just ask how the food and service was, and they are just truly blown away. And they tell me things like, I've never been taken care of in this by a quick service restaurant in this capacity before. Your team really impressed me. The service was outstanding. It really means a lot to me when we're able to create memorable experiences through catering, because that is the easiest way to grow your catering business is from repeat business. So that tells me, that positive feedback tells me that they're coming back again. So that one makes me really excited. I also love working with our general managers and seeing their passion behind catering grow. I'm always so inspired when our general managers are so motivated to, one, capture these sales, but also execute it perfectly. Just the other day, I had one of our general managers down in Warner Robins, Georgia, give me a call and say, hey, someone called and asked if we could do 150 tender boxes and they wanted to pick it up in 45 minutes. And before I could even respond to her, she said, I already said yes, I'm working on it now. It'll be out the door in 30 minutes. Like that kind of energy and that kind of drive, that's what makes me wake up the next day and make me want to sell more catering. And then from my team, when I see them really flourish from building those relationships, and seeing how they are able to make a huge impact in our company to our top line sales and bottom line, I would say those are the three big things that make me really excited about catering.
That's great. That you're not only helping the community, but you're helping your internal community as well.
Yeah. And I would say the icing on the cake is when I'm at a networking event and people are like, oh, Lela, are you catering this today? Or where's the Bojangles at? Just like the fact that they're thinking, their mind automatically goes to catering equals Bojangles. I mean, as a marketer, what more could you want?
Yeah, that is ideal brand awareness.
Yeah, ideal brand awareness.
Beautiful. Okay, what advice would you give to someone interested in entering restaurant marketing or just marketing in general, or looking to kind of move into that type of leadership role?
Yeah, definitely be a people person. Be somebody that where you can get in front of somebody and have a conversation. Be passionate about, because marketing is essentially just, I'm trying to sell a product. I'm trying to convince you to buy my product. So be passionate about whatever product you're trying to sell or trying to move, or be passionate about whatever message you're pushing. I love to talk about food. I love food in general. I firmly believe in what a good meal can do. So it's easy for me to sell Bojangles chicken because of those things. So definitely, have some sort of passion, some sort of interest behind what message you're pushing. But also get yourself out there more. If you want to be a marketer, be good at marketing yourself. Get yourself on LinkedIn more, start posting more, just get your name out there. People need to know who you are, because if you can market yourself, you can market anything.
Amazing advice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay. Final question. If you could go back and give your younger self a little bit of advice about marketing or being in the restaurant industry, what would it be?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah. If you were to go back and give your younger self some advice, just career advice in general, what would it be?
Probably to stop doubting myself. Just stop doubting yourself, ask the questions, do the things. You probably know more than you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah. Once you do it.
Yeah. Once you do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Lela.
Oh, was that it?
That's it. I'm going to stop the recording here, but I'll leave the recording going. I have a couple PeopleLinx specific questions, if we can go through those as well.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of surprised. I was like, I feel like we didn't really talk about PeopleLinx.
No. This was all about you. And then I've got a couple PeopleLinx questions too. Here we go. Okay, you did answer a few of these, so I can copy and paste here. But what do you like best about working with PeopleLinx?
PeopleLinx is for the people. They are people. They are, and what I mean by that is they are so easy to work with, so easy to communicate with. I One thing we work with Michael Coop, which I mean, I'm sure you know, and it always he has very interesting language, for very corporate language. And one thing he uses very frequently is I'll say like, "Oh, Coop, like, what do you got a busy day today, or what's your day looking like?" And he says, "I got a full stack of pancakes," meaning like he's like back to back. And I just think that's so funny. And anytime I'm like joking about how busy I am, I'm like, "Yeah, I got a full stack of pancakes today." But all of that to say, like, we've built a really good relationship and a really good repertoire with them. So yeah, very easy to work with, very reliable.
Love it. Coop is my favorite as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just, even if it's the most serious meeting,
Yeah.
he will find a way to get a smile out of everyone before we continue.
Yeah. Yeah. He always brings really good energy to our calls, even if they're like, and our calls are usually Friday morning, which is when you have like the least amount of gas in your tank, and you're just like, get me to Friday at noon so I can just be like done for the week. But yeah, he always, no matter what, no matter how many stacks of pancakes he's got on his plate, he's always bringing the energy.
Bringing the energy, absolutely. Okay, what did PeopleLinx offer that made you choose them as a partner?
So when I got a PeopleLinx email similar to what we as Bojangles send out, at first I wasn't interested because it definitely I didn't know I didn't understand what problem it was going to solve for me. And then Kelly, who I've loved working with Kelly throughout this entire process, we got on the phone. One, she just came across as super genuine and authentic, and that made me trust her. And I think the way she worded the entire thing just like really made sense as to like why we would use them. I remember she said, she was like, "I want this to work for you, and if it's not working for you, then it doesn't work for me either," is how she put it. Like she was like, "I'm very certain that you're gonna see some good sales out of this. But also if it's not doing what it needs to for you, then we shouldn't be working together." So it was very like, she was very honest, very sincere, very straightforward, which I very much appreciated. And she also, I was like, "How are you getting all of these contacts, first of all? How do you know that they are solid contacts, that they're true?" And she was like, "We work with Zoom Info." And she even said, "You're welcome to, work with them directly. We're just the platform behind it." So I don't think I've ever told Kelly or Coop this, but when she said that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I will try and see what this Zoom Info was about. I had no idea that you could go purchase people's information. But it all started to click because I was like, wow, I get solicitation calls all the time. And these people call me and they're like, "Oh, you're Lela, you work with Bojangles." And I'm just like, how do you know that? But I talked to Zoom Info, and they did not, like, the salesman that was like assigned to me just did not have like that genuine care and interest that Kelly had for us. So once I had that conversation with Zoom Info, I knew for a fact PeopleLinx was the way to go.
Yeah, I think that's what sets PeopleLinx apart a little bit, is it's like you get a little bit of a team extension.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, some people are just self-service, some people are full service, whatever plan, you still have somebody behind you helping you the entire way through.
Yeah.
Which I think is huge.
Yeah. And like I said, PeopleLinx really solved the problem for us. We saw they came in at a perfect time too, because we saw the potential that catering had in our business. And there were several stores within our portfolio that were up 50-60% in sales over last year because of catering. So we were at a place where, we believed in catering. You got to have that top-down model for catering. from the top, you got to be pushing it for your general managers and your area directors to really invest the time in executing the orders. But yeah, and when they came to us, we were just in a really good position to say, you know what, this is a solution for us.
Beautiful. Love it. Can you tell me about some of the results you've had since working with PeopleLinx, whether it be your biggest order for a location, number of orders?
Yeah. So just talking about the return we've seen from the amount of money we gave PeopleLinx, I saw a 4x return after we did a trial period with PeopleLinx. So after that trial period ended, I saw a 4x return in sales that I gained from PeopleLinx. And like I said, the best way to grow your catering business is from repeat business. So it might be 4x now, but like ask me again at the end of the year, it might be 12x because, you know, maybe Sally, who ordered from us with the first round of emails that went out in May, has been ordering from us every Sunday since, you know. So yeah, we've seen a big return on the investment there, and like you've heard me say this several times, PeopleLinx got us behind the front desk. So we've gotten into Atlanta Gas Company, which is a huge employer down here. We've gotten to Cintas, 2 different Cintas, which Cintas is a big national warehouse. So I have 2 markets now that we are supporting Cintas catering from. Who else? And then just a bunch of other small businesses that, to be honest, I'd never heard of before until we started PeopleLinx, but they use us for their monthly employee engagement meals. I'm trying to think what else. What other huge wins? I mean, we've seen some really big orders, you know, upwards of $1,000, $2,000. But I think where the money really is that repeat customer.
Yeah, that's great. And it's because going back to you having that little bit of control.
Yeah.
Right. You can make sure they have a great experience and they'll keep coming back. And that's, again, it's great.
Yeah. So it's definitely been like a key piece in building that repeat business and building that that long-lasting customer relationship.
Absolutely. Okay. What would you say to someone considering hiring PeopleLinx?
Do it. For sure, do it. You will definitely see a return. They will take great care of you. I think if I could give any advice, it would be maybe read through the initial launch a little bit. I think as we've continued to work with PeopleLinx, I'm understanding the method behind it a little bit more. I think in the beginning we were going into it pretty blindly, and I was like, sure, yeah, let's try that. Let's go with this messaging. But now we're kind of in that period where we're testing different messaging. We're testing different target markets. We're playing around with different seats and growing our outreach. So I would just say test it. And if it doesn't work for you, like truly no hard feelings. Like PeopleLinx only wants to work with you if the program works for you.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not going well for you, then it's not going well for.
Yeah. And that's exactly what Kelly said too. Like if it's not working for you, it's not working for me. We shouldn't work together.
Yeah. Great. Anything else you want to add about your experience?
Let me think. It's definitely also been a great way to engage my catering team. I know they love working with Coop and the entire PeopleLinx team. But like you said, like it provides that extra level of support and comfort. So if one of them's kind of having a slow week, they can kind of reach out to PeopleLinx and say, hey, can we reach out to those folks that maybe said they were interested a couple months ago? I think that's another thing we can talk about is just the CRM tool of PeopleLinx and the platform that you guys have, because it's more than getting in front of the correct people. You need to find a way to manage those contacts, right? Like, how do I know that Jane Doe. I dropped off a platter for her. But how am I able to track that? Me doing that and engaging with her in that way led to a sale. The PeopleLinx platform offers that. So it's a good way to kind of keep up with who you've sold to, because what can happen is towards the end of the year, like like right now when holiday catering is starting to pick up, I can pull all of those contacts and send them unique messaging saying something like, hey, we've worked together in the past. I know holiday catering is coming up. Think about us for your employee events. And then I also like just like the organizational piece of it all too, right? So if someone responds back and they say they're not interested, the platform automatically marks that as not interested. So I know I don't need to go back to this business ever again because they just don't do catering. So yeah, I think definitely like the CRM tool that it provides also, makes it all the more useful.
Yeah, there's enough moving parts to marketing in general. Anything to help you stay organized is.
Yeah. And like I said, it's all about building relationships. So the more authentic I can come across while managing hundreds of thousands of relationships, works out better for me in the end.
Beautiful.